Welcome everyone, this is Zozo Stockwatch, and this is your Stockwatch list for Wednesday, July 19th. Okay, sorry, that was a bad Russian accent. Anyway, let's get ready for Wednesday, July 19th. We start out with the futures. The Dow futures are down 8, the S&P futures are up 1 in the overnight session, and the NASDAQ futures are up 9. Tomorrow, Wednesday the 19th, the earnings parade continues. Before the bell, as you can see here, ASML, GWW, MTB, Morgan Stanley, NTRS, USB. After the bell, Alcoa, American Express, Hawk, HAWK, CCI. Qualcomm is after the bell tomorrow. And let's see, SRPT after the bell tomorrow. STLD for steel stocks. That'll be after the bell. VML. So a few earnings on our plate. CCI after on Wednesday the 19th. For economic information, let me see, we have MBA mortgage application, 8:30 housing starts, and 10:30 the EIA petroleum number. And the API report came out today, and we'll talk about that in a second. That was for oil, and it was a build on oil, so the USO was down. For your earnings cast tomorrow, Wednesday, July 19th, here you go, TXT, 8 o'clock. Morgan Stanley conference call at 8:30. CSX, who reported after the bell tonight, but their conference call is 8:30 in the morning. USB, their conference call is 9 o'clock. Let me see. AMX, 10 o'clock. UAL, who reported after the bell tonight, their conference call is at 10:30 tomorrow morning. And then you have your afternoon conference calls. Alcoa is going to be at 5 o'clock, American Express 5 o'clock, and HAWK Hawk 5 o'clock. And as you can see, NVEC 5 o'clock conference call. So let's go through some of the news that came out after the bell. All right, so after the bell, we had just as the bell rang, VRTX was halted, and then VRTX announced positive phase 1 and phase 2 data from 3 different triple combination regimens in people with cystic fibrosis who have 1 mutation and 1 minimal function mutation. So good for VRTX, and I'll show you that after hours chart in a moment. INO announces a public offering. It was $75 million for that offering. CSX, they beat by 5 cents. There were an earnings beat in CSX. Dry Ships announced a 1-for-7 reverse split, and we'll look at that chart. That's getting hit in after hours. It was a 1-for-7 reverse split, and I don't know how they get to do so many reverse splits. If somebody knows, put it in the comments section on this video and enlighten us. IBM earnings per share beat, and then revenue missed, so you can only imagine. They were guiding up. Okay, VRTX resumed trading. The last time I looked, it was like $170. I think it was up almost $40 a share. DCTH, a 13G filed by APRN Capital LLC, 8.4% stake. So that's going to be on one of the stocks on watch. Navi had earnings per share beat, NAVI. UAL earnings per share excluding items, 275 versus 261. Juniper appoints new chief technology officer. As you can see, OPGN got a pop in after hours, and I'll show you that news in a second. OPGN, there was an insider purchase, and that's right here. The CEO purchased over almost 2 million shares at 40 cents on OPGN, so he's putting his money where his mouth is. And so OPGN, that popped in after hours, that's on the watch list. Some other earnings that came out. CSX, after their earnings, it was up and then it went red. Then we had the API numbers, and here's the API numbers right here at 4:33 p.m. So we had a build of over 1 million barrels, right? And then gasoline was a draw. So at first that was kind of helping the crude numbers, but then the USO did eventually go down. AEZS had news after the bell, and NDA accepted by FDA December 30th, 2017 PDUFA date, and that stock is up in after hours, and I'm reading right from here, AEZS. And then we had when UAL went down, we had other airlines following UAL down. IPCI 4 million ATM offering was through Roth. Like I said, here's your earnings after the bell Wednesday. Some earnings before the open Wednesday, and that was Morgan Stanley was the big name, and then USB, TXT. We had PLD CEO, he was on Kramer, and then we had some other news, nothing major though coming out. Alright, so we'll get this out of the way. And it looked today like the market was going to lose it because the dollar was headed back down. It continued its decline, and I'll show you that with the UUP. And you see it's kind of like a falling knife here. This is the dollar, I guess the ETF for the dollar UUP. And but it just keeps going lower. And I thought that this today, the market was going to lose, some traction, and the dip buyers came in again, and right along near that 5 EMA. So they are hugging the 5 EMA right now. Whatever algo is programmed for the SPY or the SPX, whichever you follow, they are hugging this 5 EMA. Pretty much, pushing it down, and then they come in. So, keep that in mind. Whoops. And, we're still near, all-time highs on the SPY, Teflon market. There really is just no place else to put your money right now. If yields are low, and the healthcare bill, you're not sure if they're going to pass it or not. So far, it looks like they're not even going to vote on it, the healthcare bill. So that's probably, indecision is helping, UNH, right? The stock had moved down, and then they came in and bought it right back up. And also had, I think, earnings today, too, on UNH. So let me also bring over this next thing. Okay, and here's... Okay, so Ameritrade earnings beat, GS earnings beat, revenue miss, and Goldman Sachs took a hit today. Harley Davidson took a hit today on the revenue miss. Lockheed Martin beat, UAL was after the bell. Here it is, UNH earnings beat, revenue miss, but they came in and bought the dip. IBM was an earnings beat. And then here's some of our call activity. BBT on unusual call activity, CUDA, CUDA, and this is cybersecurity stock, Barracuda Networks. DAL call activity for options, General Electric, Hertz, high yield ETF, HYG, INAP, JD had call activity, Kroger's call activity, to the, unusual call activity, VIPs, and this one was mentioned on CNBC during the halftime show by the Nigerians. So VIPs had unusual call activity. On the put side, we had FINL, PI, and there was a drop in that stock today. GME, GameStop, and FITB, Fifth Third Bank. So we see that they had put activity, unusual put activity. So this is the market wrap letter, and it gets delivered to your mailbox each night and each morning. This is the night version, and I think it's a nice piece of information. So reach out on Twitter at Trade Exchange, and you can get on their mailing list, and you can have this information emailed to you each night. And it's a nice, nice, solid, informative letter for what a trader or investor, would need for news and information. All right, we'll get this out of the way, and we'll just go through a few markets just to. Just want to show you CMG took a dive today. Somebody got sick at one of their restaurants. I don't remember exactly where it was. Let me see if I can find it in that letter real fast. Let's see, CMG, here we go. After a Business Insider article circulated that discussed illness in a single restaurant location. So it doesn't say where it was, but so CMG, I guess somebody got sick at one of their restaurants, and that drove the stock down on this name. Let's see, IBB. So we'll go ahead and look at some. Still holding this 20 SMA. The IWC. These are the micro caps, and that's still holding this. The 10 SMA, this light blue line here. But we're having resistance up at that 90 spot. IWM, pretty much same thing, holding the 10 SMA, which shows strength, but we've tried to break out here, here. Now we're getting a little long in the tooth in this consolidation, so we'll see what they want to do with that. IBB, the biotechs, holding that 20 SMA, and I'm sorry, XBI was the other one that I wanted. And let me get rid of this line for you. And we look like we were going to take out this 80 spot, and then we've pulled back on the XBI. This is the smaller biotech names, and so far, it's in consolidation, but it's getting a little bit long in the tooth. So we'll see what they want to do with that. And we have all that healthcare bill still up in the air with the Republicans and Trump. So far, they haven't been able to get the bill passed. Let me see. We'll go through Amazon, strong, Google, strong, Facebook. So the FANG names all following Netflix after that earnings report, and the Netflix popped like a gazillion points. Right, went from 160 all the way up to 185, and then all the price targets got raised. I saw 210, 205, a bunch of 200s for price targets for Netflix. COMPQX is the NASDAQ for TC2000, and you see we're at highs here on the NASDAQ, and that, it was helped by Amazon, all the big names, and Netflix, so that moved up. Let's just check out Amgen, and so that's holding its own, and Celgene holding its own, and Guild for the biotechs is up near that 72 spot, trying to push up. What else did I want to look at? Oh, VRTX. So here's a VRTX, and you see this huge pop. I mean, it's up $40, and that was on that news that I read to you. So that was after hours. Some of the earnings, CSX, it had popped, and then it lost all of its momentum and moved back down. And don't forget, their conference call is tomorrow morning. AEZS, this one was up and after hours on that news. DRYS did the 1-for-7 split, and you see the drop there on DRYS. What else was there? Oh, IBM had earnings, and that popped at first, and then they dropped it down. This is a 5-minute chart after hours, has pre and post market, and you see the pop, and then they dropped it. UAL, earnings after the bell, and they dropped it down. And EXPO had earnings, and that one popped up. So EXPO. Another one that was leading the NASDAQ today was Priceline, TCLN, and that one pushed up higher today. And we talked about this Expedia in previous videos, and that should follow Priceline. And let me see if there was anything else I wanted to go over. I think that's about it. We can go ahead and get into the watch list. So the first one on the list is this AEZS, and a lot of folks are watching this $1.50, but it's come from $1.05 to $1.50. So I'm gonna have to watch this tomorrow intraday and see if we get some kind of red to green or pullback. I don't think I want to chase it up here, breaking out through $1.50, but that was on that news. Let me see, APRN. Go to the daily. I mean, it just keeps getting hit every day. The volume is picking up. We got 5 million here. On this candle, we have 8 million. So, I think if it gets down to maybe, breaks through, maybe $6, or that 580 spot, I'll keep an eye on it to see if we can get one more red candle down on an APRN. I can't give you a definite, number because I have to see it intraday and see what they want to do with it. But, it's definitely trying to catch a falling knife, but it's been down how many days in a row? So we'll see. They could take it to zero. Be the first time, right? Won't be the first time, excuse me. AVEO pulling back now, had this big push up to 325. We're down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6, 7 days now. The 20 SMA is coming up. I would like the pullback all the way down to the 20 and then a possible bounce. So this one will be on watch. CAPR, this one treated me very nicely today. I took it over the $1, actually 102, and it pushed all the way up to like $1.60 something. So this one will be on watch for tomorrow, CAPR. CLLS, I see so many of these stocks that are flagging up here, and it looks like it's trying to take out, that 28.55 spot. In this case, the high today was 28.63, so I should say, that 28.65 spot, and then we have 28.77. So holding very strong. Wish we would have got it down here, but I'll look for maybe some type of intraday setup on CLLS. CUDA, this was one that had that unusual options activity, and you see the daily chart is holding up. It's above the 10 SMA. The high today was 23.66, so see if we can get a move in this name. Not an easy day trading stock. CZR, nice pop, held most of the gains today, 5.4 million shares, and a decent breakout here. We'll see if we get some kind of pullback maybe to 1290, and then maybe a continuation move up. DCTH, I read the news to you, so this will be on watch. I couldn't even give you any numbers on this. In the after hours, it's trading 17 cents, so we'll see. JD, nice daily chart, bounced off the 50, trying to continue up. The high today on JD was 43.10, so over 43.10 might give us a nice intraday trade. JMEI, curling pattern up after holding this $2, popped, so this might be in play tomorrow. JMEI. 1.2 million shares traded. MBRX, a lot of eyes on this one now, but looking for that 225 break or some kind of pullback maybe, or see if it consolidates around this $2 level on MBRX. 14.3 million shares traded. Mankind, trying to get over that $1.50 spot and the 100 SMA. Only thing is, it hit it here, right? We popped up and hit it. This candle looks a little bit better. 3 million shares traded today, Mankind. So if we can get over that $1.50, maybe we'll get a continuation. MOMO, this chart is setting up nicely. We pulled back. We've been holding the 10 SMA. We pulled back to it. We have a high in the name 4202. So over that high, this might get going. 4.1 million shares traded in MOMO. MTCH, Match.com, and we spoke about GoDaddy yesterday too, and nice pop in GDDY. So let's see if MTCH can also pop. Let's see if this can continue also. 2.7 million shares traded. So we'll see how this one sets up. Would love a pullback maybe to about 1850, and then watch it from there. So MU holding up even after Barron's over the weekend came out negative on this one. It's still trying to break this 32 spot on MU, so maybe 32.05. This can get going again, but it's holding above the 10, holding above the fast-moving averages. The 50 is rising, the 200's rising, so it looks pretty good. NVAX, big pop in the name today, so we'll see how this sets up intraday. 32 million shares, and here's the 5-minute. It was just like right out of the gate, just kept going up all day. So NVAX, nice pop, will be on watch. NVMI, a semiconductor name, you know, trying to take out this 25 spot. Volume is only 219,000 shares. This is a possible, you know, swing trade. All right, if it takes out that 25, then you can use the 50 as your guide, the 50 SMA, that yellow line. OPGN, this is the one, that big purchase by the CEO. So this will be on watch for tomorrow. ORMP, decent daily, not great, but you know, it's holding this 853. Pulled back to 825 today. The volume is so-so. I'm not too high on this one, but I'm thinking, you know, if maybe later in the week or in the next couple of days, if it gets over this 875, maybe we'll get some volume in the name. But I don't think I would get involved with this until it took out the 875 spot. PRAN, P-R-A-N, see, only 120K traded in the name, but it is above the moving averages. Looking for that maybe $2.95, $3 break on PRAN. Red Hat, consolidating here after the earnings gap up, pulled back to about the 13 EMA, and now it's maybe headed back up. If it can take out 98.75, may continue back up to 100 or so. SHOP, nice bounce off the 50 SMA today, and looking for this one to retake the highs of today. 93.90. If you can take that out, maybe we get a break over 94. Snap, just because I'm watching this grinding down. I mean, it's a falling knife. So 19.9 million shares traded in the name today, and you know, see how low this can go on Snap. So it's just on watch for possible bounce play in the name. SOHU, Sohu. This one's looking nice. Looking for maybe that 47 break, or the high today, 46.83. So maybe over 46.90. We get the continuation through 47. Volume a little bit light, 145,000. But the chart is setting up nice. So if we can get through that, you know, 47, maybe volume comes in. So interesting. VIPS, because this one was on the options, unusual options, and also mentioned on CNBC by the Nigerian brothers. 9 million shares traded. Looking for that like 11.55 break. It had a high of 11.62, so if you want to wait for that 11.62 to get taken out, there is some room up to the 50 SMA on the name, and maybe it continues up to the 50 SMA. Specialty retailer. WB turning back up. I think came down to 70 bucks. I wasn't on this name at all today. Wasn't really on my radar, but you know, it got bought here at the 20 SMA. So this one might be interesting. WKHS coming out of support, you know, from support here around, we'll call it 275, taking out $3 again. Not a favorite, but it can make some moves at times, so you might want to keep that one on watch. This is kind of a favorite right now. I like the consolidation here. It's above the moving averages. Has to clear this 21 spot, you know, maybe 2103, 2105 for WWE, and you know, we'd need more volume coming in the name. And XGTI, this one is, you know, been up a few days in a row, but it hasn't made much movement. I think everybody's nervous about this 200 SMA. I think it's just going to pop and hit the 200 SMA on the daily. So that would be my concern too on the name. So that's the only thing why I'm kind of avoiding this name right now, XGTI, because of this 200 SMA overhang. Just want to check out one stock. Yeah, this Manu, Big volume, the other day, and now it's pushing up. So I don't know how this thing trades. I never really traded it. It's, I guess, what, an ADR or something. This is Man U. This is Manchester United. They're, I guess, the soccer team. But I noticed it was getting some volume and popping, but I don't think it would. I'm not really interested in it. It just trades, no volume, and then all of a sudden, volume came in. All right, so that's your watch list for tomorrow and some news. Like I said, this is a great tool for you. Each night, when you get home and you want to catch up on the markets, you can just peruse through this letter and basically reach out to @TheTradeExchange on Twitter, and they'll email you this letter each night, and go from there. Okay, I think it's good. You can get earnings information, call activity, etc. All right, thank you so much. This has been Zozo Stock Watch. Sorry for the poor Russian accent in the beginning of the video. If you do like this video, please hit the subscribe button, share it on your social media sites, and hit that like button. Appreciate that too. Let me know you're out there. Leave some comments, any questions. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great evening. Thanks for watching, and have a good trading day tomorrow. This is Zozo Stock Watch.